Welcome back to Midnight Digital Decay. In 1973, deep in the Nevada desert, a small, obscure archaeological team, led by Dr. Elia Horn, discovered something that should have never been found. While performing a routine survey for new infrastructure, they stumbled upon an unmarked underground passageway. A door of stone, buried beneath layers of shifting sand. The door was older than any known human construction in the area. Carbon dating was impossible, but based on geological markers, it seemed to predate even the oldest ruins in North America. Dr. Horn's team was small, a group of 5 graduate students and 2 seasoned archaeologists, all working on various mundane digs before this discovery changed everything. The passage they uncovered wasn't long, a mere 30 feet before it opened into an immense chamber hundreds of feet below the surface. The walls were etched with glyphs, symbols no one had ever seen before, neither Native American nor any known language. Dr. Horn, an expert in ancient languages, remarked that the script reminded her of something far older, but she couldn't place its origin. At the chamber center stood a massive stone obelisk, jet black, absorbing light rather than reflecting it. Upon closer inspection, the surface of the stone seemed to shift under scrutiny, as if it were not quite real. It was around this strange structure that the air began to change. Horn's students described a subtle humming, like a vibration deep within the stone, growing louder the closer they got to the obelisk. A coldness seeped into the chamber despite the sweltering heat outside, but the most unsettling aspect was the feeling, an overwhelming sense of being watched. After just 2 days of excavation, one of the students, a man named Felix Klein, vanished. His tent remained untouched, his gear was perfectly in place, and there were no tracks leading away from the camp. They searched the surrounding desert for hours, but there were no signs of him. The team was terrified, but Dr. Horn insisted they continue. She believed this discovery could be something monumental, something that might rewrite history itself. That night, Horn described in her journal hearing whispers, low, indecipherable voices coming from within the chamber, like a conversation held just out of earshot. She had become obsessed with the obelisk, spending hours staring at its shifting surface, murmuring to herself. The others began to feel the effects too, headaches, strange dreams, and feelings of paranoia. But they were isolated in the desert, and no one was willing to leave. On the 4th night, another student disappeared. This time it was Cora Dennings, a brilliant young woman who had been documenting the glyphs. Her notes were left unfinished, but one phrase stood out, scrawled hastily on a loose piece of paper. "The city below. They see us now." By the end of the week, 2 more were gone. The surviving members of the team were convinced that something was taking them, dragging them into the chamber, into the earth itself. But Dr. Horn refused to leave, rambling about a forbidden city that the glyphs hinted at. She became erratic, speaking of the inhabitants of the city, beneath, beings who had lived before man, who had mastered powers beyond comprehension, and who now lay dormant, waiting for the right moment to rise again. Horn's last known journal entry was dated a few days before her own disappearance. "I heard them tonight. They spoke to me clearly, directly. They are waiting for us to unlock the door, and when we do, the world will know their truth. I cannot leave now. I must see them." When authorities finally arrived at the site a week later, all that remained was an abandoned camp. The chamber was sealed, the obelisk cold and and silent. The team's equipment was still there, but no trace of the 7 people who had been working there was ever found. The government quickly took over the site, and all information was classified. The location was wiped from public record, but the few who know of the discovery whisper of a hidden city beneath the desert, a place where ancient beings sleep, where the obelisk waits for those who dare to unlock its secret. Some believe that Horn succeeded in opening the door, that she and her team were taken into the city below, claimed by the inhabitants as their first sacrifices in millennia. What the obelisk truly is, or what lies beneath the sands of Nevada, remains unknown. But some say the whispers continue. Late at night, when the wind is just right, people claim to hear voices, carried on the desert breeze. Voices that speak of a time before time, when gods walked the earth and cities stood where only sand remains. Perhaps those cities are still there, just waiting for someone to open the door. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more of this content. It lets me know people enjoy it and motivates me to continue to create it for you all. If you haven't already, check out my link tree in the description for more esoterica.